Good evening and welcome to the Institute of Health Sciences online information evening. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about our diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching and our diploma in nutritional therapy. My name's Suzanne Laurie and I am one of the directors of the Institute, so I'm very glad to be able to talk to you this evening. I will try not to keep you for more than an hour, depending on the number of questions that we have. Depends whether we might overrun a little bit. I will do my level best not to. But we have got a number of people booked on this evening, so that just might increase the number of questions. Just a few things to know before we get started. I am recording this evening, so you don't need to take notes. We'll send anybody who has joined tonight a full recording. So if you get knocked off because of connection issues or whatever, life can get in the way, then don't worry. You will get a copy of this evening's recording. And yeah, as I said, we're going to be talking about the nutrition and lifestyle coaching diploma and also diploma in nutritional therapy. We will also, there is a little function. You should be able to see a toolbar somewhere on your screen and a Q&A box. And the Q&A box is where you can post questions about anything that I'm talking about this evening, and I will aim to answer everything that I possibly can with those. As long as we're moving through reasonably quickly, I'll answer as we go as soon as I spot that there is a question. If we're starting to lag behind a little bit, I may save some of them until the end, or if there's a question that I know I'm going to be coming onto with the answer, then I'll just divert the answer until we get to it in the presentation. So I hope that's okay with everybody. Just bear with me one moment. I can see that somebody has written something in the chat function. Okay, somebody is saying that they can't hear anything. Is this normal? No, it's not. If anyone can hear me, can you please just write into the chat function now so that I make sure there isn't an issue my end? Okay. So other people can hear me, so it appears that somebody has an issue. If you just bear with me on one moment. Okay. Great. So we are going to get started. That's brilliant that everyone else can hear, and welcome to you all. Thank you for joining. So just bear with me a moment and we will move forward. So a brief agenda for this evening then. We're going to quickly go through a little bit of information about who IHS are. Some of you may already know us, so apologies if there's a bit of repetition there, but I think it's really important that everyone understands who they're going to be working with and a little bit of ethos about the college and what they stand for and their approach to nutrition, lifestyle, health, etc., to make sure it fits with yours. And then we're going to give you some specific information about the two courses that I've already mentioned. The nutrition in lifestyle coaching is actually the first year of the diploma in nutritional therapy. So if you're interested in the diploma in nutritional therapy, then do pay attention to the first part of the qualification, of the presentation, because that will be the first year of your qualification. Then, as I said, I will answer any questions that come through. So there's just a bit more happening on chat. Okay, Sophie, you can hear now. That's brilliant. Great. Welcome on board. So we'll talk about IHS then. Who are we? We have been a training provider for coming up to 14 years now, and we offer industry and academically recognised courses specifically in the areas of nutrition and coaching. That's where we specialise. We have approximately 300 students enrolled with us, and that is in our part-time in-class courses. But now, more than ever, the majority of our students are e-learning students, and they are all over the globe now. And all our courses are part-time and or online, and they're designed for adult learners. So we well understand the challenges, if you like, of studying whilst you're working, whilst you have a family, whilst all the other things in life that your life involves. getting in the way. So we work with students to ensure that we give you as much support as possible in order to work study into your already probably quite busy schedules. And in terms of what we teach, all our courses are based on evidence-based research and a very personalised and integrative approach to managing health. So we believe that everybody is unique and therefore needs a unique and personalised protocol for maintaining health, for managing chronic conditions. But also that needs to be integrative. So it needs to take into account not just one system of the body if there's an issue there. We believe that the body works as a whole, and that also that we are part of our greater sort of life, if you like. So diet, environment, genetics, predispositions, that they all impact on health and therefore any chronic conditions. So an individual needs to be looked at as a whole. And in terms of education philosophy, we work very hard to ensure that all our students, whether they are in class or online, have as supported, dynamic and interactive learning experience as possible. We work very hard to engage students and to ensure that, particularly because a lot of our courses are very practical and our key courses, and particularly the two that we're talking about tonight, are practitioner courses, that we're ensuring that you get a chance to practice your skills as well as ensuring you understand the knowledge, and that we see that and that we're engaging with you, giving you feedback all the time to make sure that you're the best potential practitioner that you can be. And we do that because of the wealth of experience of our team. I'm immensely proud of the IHS team. There's a wealth of education expertise, of pure science degrees, masters. Nearly everyone on our team and everyone who is teaching on a practitioner course is a practitioner. We have a number of qualified health and wellness coaches, NLP practitioners, psychologists, and a lot of business experience, which is hugely important because in the integrative healthcare arena, a lot of practitioners are working at least part of the week self-employed, so seeing clients, and they're running their own business. So it's hugely important that we have the expertise that we can pass on to you on how to run a successful integrative healthcare business. So what do our graduates say about us then? There's a few testimonials that have come in the past year that you can read about IHS. We're always massively grateful to get any kind of feedback because it's the breakfast of champions, as they say, but particularly when it's positive and it's noting the things that we really work hard at, like support, like being very responsive to student needs and noticing our dedication to students. Everyone on the team wants our graduates to do well, and we love our success stories. So that's a little bit about us. You can find out more if you go to our website as well. There's a lot more about us on there. But now to move on to talking specifically about the courses. So nutrition and lifestyle coaching, the best place to start is to kind of tell you what it is that the skills that you would be using and what you would be doing as a graduate. So nutrition and lifestyle coaches work with individuals or groups of individuals, and they use their knowledge and their skills to help improve health and well-being. And the key tools that nutrition and lifestyle coaches would be using would be dietary analysis. So being able to look at somebody's diet and manually be able to, after asking, more questions, getting more information, look at possible nutrient imbalances, any holes in the diet, if you like, any real positives in there. And we also teach our students to use dietary analysis software. So we use a product called Nutritics, which is incredibly comprehensive and can really help an individual understand their diet better because it will give you reports on potential nutrient imbalances, etc. We use body composition analysis, so understanding things like BMI versus weight versus hip weight ratio versus using things like biometric scales, which are useful, which have problems, when to use them, and how they can help you analyze an individual. And then taking the information that you have about a client or an individual or a group and advising on changes that would have a positive impact on health. So they will often be led by discussing food and diet. That tends to be a key issue for individuals and a key way for people to be healthier. So we are very food first as a college, and we like students and graduates to lead with food when they're talking to individuals or inspiring anybody to have a healthier lifestyle. So it's really looking at how to utilize foods, which foods contain which nutrients, which foods can be cooked in certain ways or optimized in certain ways, and working with the individual again. So making sure that you're looking at somebody's likes, dislikes, ability to cook, ability for food prep, financial circumstances, stress levels, how busy their life is, and making really personalized recommendations. And the same with lifestyle. So looking at key things like exercise levels, activity outside of formal exercise, stress levels, relaxation time, all these things. And again, being able to make recommendations that are personalized to an individual and that are going to help improve their health and well-being. We also utilize supplements, so nutraceuticals, vitamins, minerals, probiotics, etc. But you'll note here that we say basic over-the-counter supplements. So this is a year-long program, the Diploma in Nutrition and Lifestyle Coaching. And therefore, it's not long enough to be using very high-strength, practitioner-strength supplements. It could potentially get dangerous for you and for clients. So we teach our nutrition and lifestyle coaching graduates and students to use products that are widely available, so you can buy them in health food shops, in pharmacies, in supermarkets, online, all over the place, but helping people make more informed choices. There's a lot of what we call polypharmacy, where individuals are picking all kinds of things up off the shelves, using all kinds of products and not understanding how they might be interacting with each other, how they might be interacting with any medication an individual is taking, any other products. So we give you a really comprehensive overview of how to keep you and your clients safe. And then this is all packaged with communication skills, because that is absolutely key. You can be the best food scientist in the world, but if you can't communicate and encourage and inspire somebody to change, then that's not going to be of so much benefit. And our communication skills are based on the health and wellness coaching model of communication, which is being shown time and time again as the most effective method of eliciting behavioral change and long-term behavioral change in individuals. So basically allowing people to make changes, to communicate with them in such a way that they are finding their own intrinsic motivation to change, and that's allowing them to move forward. If you just bear with me, we have a few questions that have come in from what I can see. Bear with me. Okay, so we've got a good few questions have come in. So someone has asked whether a science background is required as it's a career change. For the Diploma in Nutrition and Lifestyle Coaching, there is no science background required. We have a basic guidelines for academic level in terms of demonstrating that you can study to third level, which is after school, but you can also use your career and any personal development that you've done as evidence of ability to complete the course. We teach you the science that you need from scratch, so this is why the science isn't required. Everything is taught related to nutrition and lifestyle. But if you're unsure, contact us and we can talk through whether you meet the prerequisites for the course. How do online students get practical fieldwork? Okay, so all students are working towards doing case studies as part of their assessments for this program, and these are done remotely. So you find the client, you start with paper-based case studies, then you find clients to work with, and you consult with them one-to-one, and then before they're given any of the information that you want to give them, that comes back through your personal tutor and is signed off by the college and you only graduate from the course when you have passed the required number of case studies. Can we join or take a break and continue at any time? You can join and you can take a break, and we call it deferring from the course. And the online version of the Diploma in Nutrition and Lifestyle Coaching runs 3 times a year, so end of September, end of January, and end of May. So you can pick the course up with the next cohort. So basically you could take a 3-month study break and then come back in. We try to keep as many people as possible moving, because you can lose momentum if you stop. So we only will talk to you. We have a student support officer, and anybody, if we can get you through, we'll do our level best to do it. But if you need to take a break because life has got in the way, then that is possible to do. Somebody is asking about financial help or loan options that we have available. It depends. This is one to talk to us about and to get advice from one of our course consultants. It depends what country you're in. It depends what your circumstances are. There is financial help available, but it's different, as I said, in different countries. But we have had students who have had financial help from differing bodies, so we can give you information about that, and then you can take it from there. Okay. I see a couple more questions that have come in on the chat function. The sound is bad. It's cut out a lot. Hopefully nobody else is having issues with the sound. Let me know if you are. My internet connection is very good according to the provider tonight, but as I said, it's been recorded, so if there is issues, then we can send that to you anyway. Am I going to talk through the science that is taught? I'm going to go through all the modules that are taught, so I'll tell you a little bit about everything that's in the course. If you're looking for more information afterwards, then we're very happy to talk you through that as well. Okay, so I think that answers everything. So going back to the presentation then, they're the different skills that we would be teaching in terms of nutrition and lifestyle coaching. And the key focus, what you're really looking to do at the end of the program, is to offer advice, offer strategies for change, offer encouragement, and offering support to anybody who is wanting to improve their health and well-being. So we're going to go through the different career options, and you can see that there are many different ways of doing this. But you're helping individuals really make those long-term healthy changes. Just a note at the bottom here for what nutrition and lifestyle coaches we feel aren't doing. So as we said, we really like to keep our graduates and also the general public as safe as possible. So after a 1-year course, this is not enough to be carrying out symptom analysis. So basically to be saying to somebody, I think you've got this because of these different symptoms, and certainly not treating any named conditions. That is for a primary healthcare professional. Now, that's not to say you can't work with individuals that have named conditions. They would still be with their primary healthcare professional or whoever they're working with, and you can be working in the background supporting them with improving their diet and lifestyle to support their health and to help manage their health as it is. So hopefully that makes sense. Just bear with me again. We have another question. How many students that qualify on your course go further in a career in nutrition? Okay, so I don't have full statistics on that. A lot of our graduates go out and practice. What I can do is when we go through, the list of the different roles of nutrition and lifestyle coach that I'm going to give you are things that our graduates are doing. We have a number of graduates who go out and they work straight away with the 1-year program. We also have a lot of graduates who carry on with further education, either with us or moving on to different programs. So there's a number of avenues that people take depending on the qualifications that they're bringing in, depending what they're wanting to do with the qualification as well. Just bear with me. Okay, so why study nutrition and lifestyle coaching at IHS then? We feel there's a number of reasons. We feel that we have a very strong program. We've spent a lot of time developing it and really making sure that primarily the accreditation and the industry recognition for the course are as strong as they can be. So this program is approved by Ofqual. It's a level 4 qualification in the UK, which is the equivalent to Irish level 6 for any potential Irish students. And it's a regulated qualification. So that means that it is on the UK education framework. And it's the only nutrition and coaching course that is regulated by Ofqual. And it's the only course of its kind that is recognised to this academic level. So we're really pleased with the academic accreditation that we have. In terms of industry recognition, it is recognised by the Complementary Medical Association, and you can insure yourself to practice through them, and it's also recognised by Baylands Insurance. So if you're already a practitioner and you have a registering body, you can insure yourself as a nutrition and lifestyle coach as well with Baylands. And also our approach to nutrition and lifestyle coaching, we feel, is quite unique and effective. And I mentioned before that we take a very personalised approach to nutrition. And recent research from Europe, it was called the Food for Me, a big study that was done involving a number of universities spread right across Europe, demonstrated that a personalised approach to nutrition is far more effective than giving general recommendations for improving health. So the general things about everybody eating 5 a day and the heart health diet, those kind of things. They can be effective to a point, but a personalised approach is much more effective in eliciting long-term change. And so we've really use that as the basis of our course. We have that personalized nutrition approach. We really work with you very hard on the key skills, and dietary analysis being one of those, but meal planning being another. Meal planning isn't as simple as just looking at somebody's diet and saying, okay, a few more fruit and vegetables, a bit more green, eat a rainbow, those kind of things. I mentioned before, you need to be taking into account somebody's lifestyle, somebody's likes and dislikes, their environment, their stress levels, their activity levels, all these things, and planning meals accordingly if they're going to work the best that they can for them. So we really work with you hard to be able to do that and really put together really useful dietary changes. And then the coaching element to the course as well. And this course really can be tailored to your career requirements. So we're just going to move into that in a second. There's a couple more questions that have come in, so if you just bear with me. Okay, somebody is asking about BANT. So this BANT recognised nutritional therapy courses. This is nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So this is level 4. BANT courses would tend to be level 6. They're at least level 5. So it's a different type of qualification. And is the course recognised in the Republic of Ireland? So it's on the UK education framework, and it's therefore on the EU education framework. So it's not, if you're asking, is it FETAC recognised? We chose the UK accreditation over Ireland for sort of various reasons, but we only went with one because whichever you go with, whether it's Ofqual or it's QQI in Ireland, they're all on the education framework, so the European education framework, so you only need to do it once, if that makes sense. So it is transferable for credits, etc. It's recognised, they understand what a level 4 qualification is, the hours of learning are transferable, so everything is transferable. Hopefully that makes sense, Colette. Okay. Sorry, just bear with me. Okay, what are the opportunities of this course in London for practicing purposes? Being only at level 4, won't we need further training? Okay, it depends what you want to do. And this isn't just about working in London, this is about working anywhere. Nutrition and lifestyle coaching is about working with individuals to improve their general health and well-being. It's great for working with individuals or groups who are focused on things like weight loss, improving energy, who are looking to avoid things like we have graduates working on with pre-diabetic patients, with different groups. So we'll go through the different things. It's absolutely enough to get out there and working. Then you might find, and some of our graduates do find, they want to work at a higher scientific level, so they go on to study different things. They want to focus more on the coaching, so they focus on getting high level coaching qualification. So it gives you a really good basis to go out there and work, which can be absolutely enough for some individuals, and they have really successful careers, or it gives you a great starting point to build up your qualifications if you want to do that. Somebody is asking the difference between this course and the one at CNM. What we always say with anybody who is looking at courses, look at everything that is available. And we can't really compare. We know our course very well. We know that there are other courses out there, but really you need to be talking to the colleges, asking questions, coming to information events like this, talking one-on-one with course consultants, and really deciding which course is the best fit for you. And somebody's asking about payment plans, so I'm going to come to that later so that everybody gets the answer to that as well, just because I'm getting a bit conscious, loads of brilliant questions, but I want to be able to let you off to enjoy your evenings not too late. Okay, so let's look a little bit then. As I said, you can really, it's the kind of course where you'll be designing your own career to suit your strengths, your goals, your lifestyle, the things that you enjoy. So options that we see working very well for our graduates: private practice. A lot of people want to work one-on-one with clients. So that might be independently, or it might be in something like an integrative healthcare clinic. And it can be a new career, or you could be adding it on to a therapy that you've already got. It used to be that this would generally be done face-to-face. Technology as it is now means that, you know, the globe is your marketplace. It works very well for online consultations as well, even online group work. So you're not sort of held to the area that you live in now. We have graduates who educate the public, so they've done evening classes, they've developed their own group programs, so they might be working with individuals with similar interests or similar health goals. So be that weight loss, be that feeding their families, be that focused on children, be that focused on preventing a specific condition. They might do talks to the general public. There's all kinds of options. You can also, once graduated from this program, become a Zest for Life affiliate. Zest for Life run public 12-week programs that are focused on improving health in a very holistic way. So improving energy, weight loss. They take a very coaching approach, and it's a holistic sort of Weight Watchers, if you like, in terms of the support and the real group kind of sense about it. You used to have to be a nutritional therapist to be a Zest for Life affiliate, but they recognize the standard of this course and particularly like the coaching element, so they feel that our graduates are a really good fit, and we have a number of graduates who are affiliated with Zest for Life now. Some individuals love the retail space and they want to work in the health retail industry. Some do in-store consultations. They're working on the shop floor. We have graduates who own the shop, and some who have moved into product design. Things like healthy ice lollies. We have graduates, high protein snacks, kefir, ice cream, all kinds of different things that have been developed. Some individuals affiliate specifically with things like weight loss clinics, with gyms, with pharmacies, depending on what their interest and background is. Corporate wellness programs are becoming hugely popular now that the recession is lifting in most places, and companies are really seeing the value of having a well team behind them. If you like writing, then it gives you avenues for blogging, for writing in health magazines, newspapers, etc. And then, of course, enhancing a current career. So we have chefs on the course at the moment. We've got teachers, we've got carers, fitness professionals. It's a really nice fit with an awful lot of those professions. I think I have another question. Okay, so somebody is asking if they can get a diary link to someone who can help them get information. Absolutely. No, that's no problem at all. I will make sure that you receive that. We'll email that to you first thing in the morning, and I'll make sure that somebody contacts you tomorrow. Okay? So, sorry, just bear with me. So here, somebody was asking about the scientific content. So this is the whole content of the course. This is the 16 units of the program and that run over the year. So you can see that there are the nutrition science units in there. We've got micronutrients, we've got macronutrients, phytonutrients, food groups, all the sort of basic nutrition science that you need, how the human body works, etc. But then you'll also note that there's a lot of other things in there that are the real practical skills that are the difference that makes the difference, if you like. So reflective practice, so learning how to learn and how to develop constantly as a practitioner and as a professional. The coaching skills, coaching in practice, and then working with individuals, so the consultation skills. And then also lovely things in there like a unit on optimizing nutrition in practice, so making sure that you don't just know the different food groups that are there, you know how to really make the most from them. So understanding what is the science and how do you ferment, for example, and is it worth doing? Is it worth buying over the counter products? Can people do it themselves? The same with things like sprouting, soaking, all these different ways. Looking at the more lifestyle elements like toxins and how they impact health, toxins coming from the environment, from food, etc. So there's an awful lot of different things in there. We feel it's a really comprehensive course. So I mentioned at the beginning, but just so anybody who is interested in nutritional therapy is aware, the first year of the Diploma in Nutritional Therapy is this Diploma in Nutrition and Lifestyle Coaching. So even if you're moving on to do the Diploma in Nutritional Therapy, you will come out with the Diploma in Nutrition and Lifestyle Coaching after year one. You can get going if you want to as a nutrition and lifestyle coach and be building your skills and your confidence whilst you're studying for your Diploma in Nutritional Therapy. So in terms of course structure then, it's a one-year program. It's approximately 11 months to complete the course from start to finish, and there are flexible learning options. So you can complete the course entirely online, and as I mentioned before, that runs 3 times a year, so starting September, January and May every year. Or you can do in-class. There are 2 sort of in-class versions. The Dublin in-class version, which is 10 full weekends of lectures throughout the academic year, and that starts in September, and that's once a year. And then the blended learning, which is great for anybody who really appreciates in-class but can't commit to something like 10 weekends. And that is 5 full weekends of lectures throughout the academic year. And again, the start date for that is just September. And in terms of the commitment to study, you need to know that you've got at least 10 hours that you can set aside for study per week. And I always say, get creative with your study. That's not just sitting at your desk, reading books, looking at the computer, going through PowerPoint presentations, etc. For all the units, we give you podcasts, we give you multimedia material. We use a student management system called Moodle, which there is an app for, so you can pick up any material and even complete assessments whilst you're commuting, whilst you're on your phone, on your tablet, wherever it is as well. So you can really kind of be creative with your study time so that you can more easily fit in that 10 hours. Okay, just bear with me. We have another question. So the blended module, somebody's asking, is that only in London? Yes, the blended learning, the blended option is in London, but if you're based in Ireland and can't commit to 10 weekends, then what we suggest is that you sign up as an e-learning student, and then we can give you the timetable of all the different dates that are happening in Dublin, and then you can, if you let us know in advance, then you can attend those. It's €100 per weekend, so we just need to know in advance, and also so that we can make sure that you've done any prerequisites that need doing before those weekends, that you have everything that you need, but you can come along if that's easier in terms of flexibility for you. We do have the weekends, yes, for the blended learning option. We'll be contacting everybody tomorrow with a copy of this presentation. So if you're wanting the dates, then the course consultant who is attached to you can then send you on that information. And the hours over the weekend, they run their full days, Saturday and Sunday. We start at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning and usually finish between 5 and 5:30. Sunday, it's a slightly shorter day because we have a lot of people traveling to lectures. So we usually start at 9:30 and we finish by 4:30. Okay. So, some of the logistics of the course then, student support is hugely important to us. I just mentioned Moodle. All our students are logged into Moodle, and everything is on there. It's kind of a one-stop shop, if you like. That's where you'll find your course material, assessments, handbooks, all the forums that we use so that you can communicate very effectively with your peers and with the NLC team. It just takes the stress out of finding things and communicating with us. All the students also have a personal tutor. So that is the person who is guiding you through the course. That's who you will be getting feedback from on your assessments. And then all the units have a course leader. So their role is to support you through their specific package of material, if you like, guide you on the assessments, make sure that you understand that everybody is working together and that they're where they need to be with the material. So it's another really great source of support. And then we have a dedicated student support officer for anybody who is having difficulties. Because as we said, life can get in the way. So Louise is brilliant. She will work with you to try and get you through the course if that's possible, and then to look at different options if it's not possible at that moment in time. Okay, we're going to come to the price, if you don't mind. So I'm just going to keep moving through the presentation. Somebody is asking how many books are needed. So there's only a couple of essential texts that you need to get. There's a number of recommended books, but you don't need to purchase those. It's ones that we've found useful. All the units will point you in the direction of different, sources of literature that you can use. We use an awful lot of multimedia things these days because they're brilliant, and video, just works so well. So a lot of the resources that we want you to look at cost nothing because they're on YouTube, they're from different sources. So it's a really great way of learning. How many case studies do you have to complete to graduate the course? So you do a number of paper-based cases. You then work with each other in small groups in what we call buddy groups, practicing consultation skills and particularly the coaching. And then you move on to a final case study, which you have to complete in order to graduate, and that is an initial consultation and 2 follow-ups. So if you do really well with that, then there's just the 1 to complete. If you need more, then you can take more case studies as well. Okay. So, online students, you receive exactly the same material as the in-class students, but because we put audio over the vast majority of the PowerPoints, which are the thread, if you like, of the course. And the course includes all kinds of multimedia clips, recorded consultations, demonstrations from qualified practitioners. I mentioned buddy group exercises, guided forum discussions to make it interactive. So as an online student at IHS, you're not just kind of fired the material and left to get on with it. Our students feedback that they really feel part of a community and that they know the other people in their cohort, even though they've never met them. Okay, we have another question coming through. Can the buddy coaching be done online? Yes, the vast majority of students do it online, even if they're in-class students, because they will just get together on Skype or Google Hangout or whatever their chosen piece of technology is in between lecture weekends, so they work together. Somebody is asking about different time zones, yeah, what we aim to do with cohorts is look at where everybody is, and we'll try to pair people up with individuals in similar time zones. Or if that's not possible, then at least people who are flexible in terms of when they can work during the day so that it works for everyone. We haven't had any issues so far with that. There is no exam. Somebody is asking about an exam. It's all continual assessment. So I'm going to go through the different types of assessments in just one moment. Great questions, everyone. You're keeping me on my toes tonight. So here we are with assessments. It's continual assessment from start to finish. We take a little and often approach to assessment because we want to be able to give you comprehensive and regular feedback. We don't feel it's a benefit, and particularly on a practitioner course, if you're not getting feedback consistently. You don't want to find out 4 months down the line that you haven't grasped a really key topic. So we use assessments such as multiple choice quizzes, in-class exercises if you're an in-class student, the Skype buddy coaching if you're not, dietary analysis, meal planning, there's some extended writing, creating things for clients, so reports, information sheets, and then you're moving towards the case studies throughout the course. So it's a really comprehensive assessment package which ensures that our graduates are really good at what they do. We have something else coming in. Somebody, I think I've already gone through the additional costs, the books. There are no other additional costs. There are no hidden costs in there. We're very upfront about everything. Can we download Moodle on MacBook? Yes, Moodle is compatible with all different computers. It's a very big, popular student management system. A lot of big universities use it as well, so it's compatible with I haven't found anything it's not compatible with. If I decide to complete only year 1 of nutritional therapy, will I still be able to work? Yes, you will be a qualified nutrition and lifestyle coach. And then you could pick up, if you wanted to take, defer out for a couple of years and then come back and you do nutritional therapy, finish the qualification, then that's absolutely fine. Again, a question about financial assistance. If you come to us individually about that and we can talk to you, yes, we have had individuals who have had financial assistance in Ireland, but it can depend where you live and also what your circumstances are. Okay. So in terms of fees then, the online fees are 3295 and that's euro, and sterling 2795. In class is 3495 and that's euro, so that's starting in September. And there are monthly payment plans available. So if anybody is interested in those, then if you again contact us and speak to you can respond to the email that we send tomorrow and we can give you more details about those. Okay. So, sorry, I'm just reading through the questions. What is an online student expected to do per week in terms of lectures, assignments, etc.? So you have the same workload as in-class students. So weekly, you know exactly what you're expected to do. And it will be looking at specific sections of units and then doing the assignments that are attached to them. So it equates to about 10 hours per week of work. In terms of access to Moodle resources after graduating, the Moodle is left open to you for a finite amount of time, and if we are going to remove access after a while, because we we upgrade material, etc., we let you know so that you can download everything that you need that you're currently using. And the blended learning price for London is the 2795. Okay. So we have a free trial for this course, which I would highly recommend everybody give a go if you're considering studying with us. It's just a great way to see how we work, to see how Moodle works, to see what our Moodle site looks like. It's based on the diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching, Unit 2. From that, there's a section of the material so you can see exactly how it works. It's current course material and it's structured in line with everything that we do at IHS. So that runs weekly It's a week's worth of material roughly, but we sign you up for 2 weeks so that you're not pressured to get through it all. You don't need to get through all the material. There is an assessment at the end, but it's only to show you what an assessment would look like if you signed up. You don't have to do it. You can just look at it. There is forum discussions up there. You don't need to engage if you don't want to. I'm just saying this because some people think, oh, I don't want to sign up because I have to do this. It's just a great way. You can just go in, have a look at some of the PowerPoints, have a listen to a bit of the audio, look at some of the multimedia resources, and it can just be helpful in helping you make the decision. So there's absolutely no commitment. It's completely free of charge. If you go onto our website, you'll see a button on every page, a little green button, which says that you can sign up for the study trial. So if you just click that, we could get you started next Monday. Okay. Okay, somebody is asking if we cover advanced topics like hormone and the Dutch test, GI map for gut issues. For us, that is nutritional therapy. So things like that are covered if you move on to the 3.5-year diploma. With nutrition and lifestyle coaching, it is more focused on general health and well-being and improving the sort of basic functions of the body, but not to that scientific depth. And somebody mentioned dietary analysis software. We use Nutritics, and we found that to be the most comprehensive and one of the most user-friendly dietary analysis software. So you can have a look at that. It's an Irish product, but it covers a massive spectrum of foods, and you can really personalize the information that is going in there. IHS students get a huge reduction in cost. It works out, I can only give you a rough one just in case it goes up, but it only ever goes up at, sort of a 5 to 10 euro rate, but it's around about 100 euros for IHS students. Okay. Is it possible to get in touch with previous students practicing in the industry? Absolutely, yes. If you contact us and ask for that, obviously because of data protection, we can't give out details, and certainly not on a sort of information evening like this. But anybody who would like to speak to students who have studied with us and graduates and see what they're doing, absolutely, we can put you in touch with them. Okay, so if you were to enroll today, there's just some examples of some of the things that people are doing. So just to show you that there is a broad spectrum of what you can do. BJ Broderick is, I mentioned Healthy Ice Pops earlier on. She is our graduate who has developed a range of vegetable and fruit-based ice pops, so not just fruit. And they're amazing. They're absolutely delicious, brilliant for this summer. And she developed those in Ireland, but they are now moving into other countries as well, so that's very exciting for her. We have graduates like Yvonne, who she started off by making a range of high protein different treats and snacks, and now has her own health food based cafe in one of the big gyms in Cork City. Excuse me. Neve has a clinic called the Wellness Clinic, and she's really specialized on female health and particularly mums, and focusing on encouraging self-care and fostering self-care in mums who tend to sort of put everybody else ahead of them. So she does a really lovely program called Urban Mama, which is a 6-part program, and that's where she's specializing. But she also does a lot of corporate wellness programs, talks, etc. as well. And Svetlana has a completely online business. So she is living in Singapore, but she has clients all over the globe. And she specializes in executives who travel a lot and are therefore in airports and in hotels a lot. And she personalizes the information that she gives around issues such as stress management, jet lag, eating out, how to make better choices. She makes it her job to understand what can be bought in different airports, in different big hotel chains around the world, and works with executives. So it's a truly online global business, which is amazing. So once you've completed the course, you have a number of options. As we've said, you can move forward and just go and be a nutrition and lifestyle coach. If you're really excited, though, about digging a bit deeper in terms of scientific level, exploring food, and really interested in the functional medicine model of healthcare, which I'm going to be talking about in the next few minutes, then it might be that the diploma in nutritional therapy is another study option for you. And we also have a number of CPD courses, a growing number of CPD courses. If you want to keep upskilling, but you don't want to commit to another year or more of study. So we have the certificate in personalised sports nutrition, we have the certificate in stress management, and the certificate in health and wellness coaching. We will be adding at least 2 new courses to our CPD collection this year. I can't say anything yet because we're not quite ready to launch, but we're almost there. But it's an ever-expanding portfolio of CPD, so it's brilliant for nutrition and lifestyle coaches who want to add another element, who are specifically interested in something like performance nutrition, or they're working in the corporate market, so they need more stress management skills, for example. Okay, so folks, there are just a few more questions that have come in. Yes, I will be covering the level 6 nutritional therapy. I'm looking at the time quite quickly, but we will be talking about that now. The qualification after, right, somebody is asking, are the qualifications recognised in Spain? Yes, they are. Baylands Insurance, who I mentioned earlier, Spain is one of the countries that they insure in, so you can insure yourself to practice as either a nutrition and lifestyle coach or a nutritional therapist in Spain. Somebody is asking how health and wellness coaching is different from this course. If you don't mind, I'm going to hold that question just because we are rapidly running out of time, and we can talk to you about that individually, if that's okay. I'm very happy to make contact and we can go through that afterwards. It's just, as I said, we are rapidly running out of time. Okay, so anybody who isn't interested in the nutritional therapy diploma and is just interested in nutrition and lifestyle coaching, then please feel free to leave the presentation now if you'd like to. Because we're now going to move on to nutritional therapy. So that is our 3.5-year diploma. I won't be offended in any way, just might not be relevant to you. So for anybody who is wanting to leave at this point, thank you for listening, thank you for attending, and hopefully we can help you, individually if you have any more questions, and we will see you on an IHS course soon. For those who are still here, then I'm going to talk to you now about the diploma in nutritional therapy. So nutritional therapy then, it goes to a deeper scientific level, and basically you're practically applying the latest scientific theories and research in nutrition and integrative health to promote optimum health and to help potentially manage chronic conditions. And nutritional therapists are really working to establish how genetics, lifestyle, diet, and environmental factors might be contributing to a client's symptoms or any illnesses that they're experiencing. And the focus is really on improving the physiological function of all the body systems and addressing biochemical imbalances. So this can really help alleviate and manage a wide range of chronic conditions. And we base our program on the functional medicine model. So anybody who doesn't know this model very well, I've got a few visuals coming up that should help explain it, but you can also find an awful lot of information online about functional medicine as well. Okay, somebody's got to go, but we need to send them the information on NT. That's absolutely fine. We can do that. So, because the focus is on improving the physiological function of all the bodily systems when you're working as a nutritional therapist, even if you're presented with somebody with quite specific chronic conditions, it can alleviate a number of clinical imbalances, and therefore it can be very beneficial in helping to manage a number of chronic conditions. So what does a nutritional therapist do? They're using similar tools to nutrition and lifestyle coaches, but at a more deeper scientific level, and some more complex tools, if you like, as well. So there is the dietary analysis, but there's also looking at biomedical tests. So nutritional therapists might ask individuals to do some specific biomedical tests involving things like stool samples, saliva samples, urine samples, etc. Or they may help interpret tests that have been sought from other healthcare professionals, so blood tests from the GP, etc. They will do body composition analysis, but then they're using functional medicine tools to really put together that personalized individual package and to really interpret what is going on with an individual. So we use the functional medicine tools from the Institute of Functional Medicine in the States, who have put together a really comprehensive package to make functional medicine accessible to healthcare providers. So we use the paperwork and we use it in the way that they train their graduates to use it. And then you're using food first, again, even with our nutritional therapy, lifestyle changes, and then practitioner supplements in order to elicit changes in an individual. So you can use higher strength products that aren't available to the general public and that can only be purchased through a healthcare professional like a nutritional therapist. We still weave the coaching skills through our nutritional therapy program because we believe it's absolutely so important in gaining that long-term buy-in from individuals and wanting to improve their health. And basically, you're putting together an individual protocol to help reduce or remove factors that are creating biochemical imbalances in the body and maybe leading to different symptoms and chronic conditions. So career opportunities, again, private practice is a big one for nutritional therapists. Most nutritional therapists will see clients one-on-one. Education, another key area, but it might be to the public, it might be to other nutritional therapy students, other healthcare professionals. There's a raft of different ways to move into the education field. We have a number of graduates who work for supplement companies as nutrition advisors, as product developers, as sales advisors, etc. Okay, there's a question about what is the difference between a nutritional therapist and a dietitian. Okay, so I suppose the easiest way to explain this is that both careers have the same goal in mind. They're both using similar tools in order to help improve people's health using nutrients, if you like, and lifestyle changes. However, they would use the tools quite differently. I suppose the best way to look at them is opposite ends of the spectrum. So how I tend to explain it is with something like a chronic disease like diabetes. Dietitians would work in orthodox healthcare surroundings, and they would use protocols for a condition. So there would be a sort of standard protocol that they would use for individuals with diabetes. Nutritional therapists would take a more personalized, or would tend to take a more personalized approach and a more integrative approach. So the personalized element of that would involve sort of understanding that there is more than one way to end up with diabetes. So for some individuals, it is dietary driven. Some individuals, it's stress driven. Some individuals, it's a combination. Some people, it is more of a genetic issue. So it's looking at all those things, and therefore the information that is fed back to the client would be personalized to the individual and not the condition, if that makes sense. And then the integrative approach is also, again, not just focusing on the condition, looking at the full individual and saying, okay, even though we've got something here that is seen as an issue with the pancreas, there are probably a number of imbalances in this individual that have got them to where they are. So we mentioned it might be other hormonal imbalances. So stress would have a massive impact, but it could be issues with the liver, for example, as well, because that is where hormones are removed, detoxed and removed from the body. There could be gut issues involved as well. There's a number of different factors that could have got somebody. So hopefully that explains the difference. Yes, dietetics is regulated by CORA in Ireland. Nutritional therapy isn't. Okay, so there are opportunities within the NHS and HSC for promoting things like healthy eating in schools. A lot of our students go on and do postgraduate research. We have a link with the Centre for Nutrition, Education and Lifestyle Management in the UK that run an MSc in personalised nutrition, which is validated by Middlesex University. Our diploma graduates can move straight onto the MSc without having to top up to degree level because they know the standard of our course. So there's lots of different options, as there is with nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So in terms of studying nutritional therapy at IHS, one of our strengths, we believe, is that we really integrate the functional medicine model. We don't sort of make a nod to it. There are full units which work through the different imbalances as they're seen in functional medicine, and it's woven throughout the course. And we feel that functional medicine really is the healthcare of the future, or one of the models that is really going to move healthcare forward, particularly focusing on chronic disease. And it's because it takes this holistic approach, really looking at how the different systems of the body are linked, how they work together, and therefore what happens if there is imbalances in one, how that has a knock-on effect in others. And I want to show you a few diagrams to try and explain that more fully for you. So with the functional medicine model, they would talk about, rather than looking at the body as a set of systems, if you like, and saying you've got your cardiovascular system and your digestive system, they look at the body as a set of functions, hence the name. So that your body is assimilating all the time. So it's digesting things, we're respirating, so we're taking in oxygen, kicking out carbon dioxide, that we're constantly defending our bodies and repairing things that are going wrong or just damage that is done because we're just one big kind of factory, if you like. Energy production, biotransformation of used products, etc., and elimination from the body, transport of all kinds of things around the body at all times, and communication then between the different systems. And all these are impacted by our environment, by our genetics, and then this stuff in the middle of this diagram here, our mental, emotional, and spiritual state as well. So when a functional medicine practitioner is working with an individual, they're assessing how all these functions are working individually and together. And if they're not working optimally, how that might be leading to specific symptoms or imbalances in an individual. And another great way of looking at this is using the functional medicine tree. So what this diagram is trying to show is our current healthcare system at the top there. So we have this tree, and in the disease model of healthcare, where we focus on a named condition and not the individual, we're really looking at what we might say a superficial level. So you're looking at the leaves of the tree and you're going, they're a bit brown, they're not functioning quite as they should. But what you wouldn't do if this was a real tree and not, trying to show something else, is you wouldn't paint the leaves green to make this person feel better. You wouldn't go, okay, painted the leaves green, that tree is now healthy. You need to look deeper. And the problem with our current healthcare system is that it often doesn't, and it's working at that superficial level. Because underneath those brown leaves, there are issues in the trunk of the tree, if you like, and that is core dysfunctions and core imbalances. So the ones that we saw on the slide before, imbalances in our defense system, so inflammation, imbalances in our communication system, so hormonal, imbalances in the digestive system perhaps, so our ability to assimilate. So that is the next level down. But looking even deeper, the functional medicine model would say, okay, so yes, we've got those imbalances, but where are they coming from? What is the cause of the cause? What is the root cause? Getting to the real fundamentals of the tree, the bit that is absolutely fundamental to keeping this tree alive. And that is how we're interacting with our environment, with toxins, what our nutrient profile is, what our genetic predispositions are. Are we moving as we should? Are there any low-grade infections, any traumas, what our diet is like, and what our attitude is like? So hopefully that makes sense. That's what we're looking to do to get to those root causes as a functional medicine practitioner. And hopefully this is another diagram which kind of shows how a nutritional therapist would work as well. And this is the illness wellness continuum. And this demonstrates that in our lives, we are all somewhere on this spectrum between really high level wellness and premature death. And what we want to be doing is moving towards the right here and really working towards and keeping in that zone of high level wellness, even into older age. But that requires awareness, it requires education, and it requires consistent growth and change. Now, with our current healthcare system, again, we tend not to do anything about conditions, particularly in the West. We're sort of predisposed. You don't do anything until you feel unwell. So we're moving towards premature death before we're even acknowledging that we need to be minding our health. And quite often, you can't get healthcare unless you have, for a specific condition, unless you have very specific signs and symptoms. But they may not develop until you're 80% into a condition. This has been looked at with things like Alzheimer's, neurological conditions, that you won't see a lot of the symptoms until a lot of the damage has already been done. So functional medicine believes that we should be focusing on keeping people at high level wellness, and that's what we aim to do as nutritional therapists as well. I apologize, but the chat function has slipped off the top of my screen. This has never happened before. I don't know why it's done it. So I can't actually see if anybody has put a question in. So once we get to the end of the presentation, I'll answer anything that I haven't already at this point. So now, within our nutritional therapy qualification at IHS, there are interim awards as well. We've already discussed one at length. That is the Diploma in Nutrition and Lifestyle Coaching. But at the end of year 2, you also receive a standalone diploma that is in nutrition and lifestyle, evaluating their role in chronic disease development. And then at the end of year 3.5, you receive a diploma in personalized nutrition and therapeutics. And if you have all those qualifications, then you get the IHS diploma in nutritional therapy. So it just means that at any point, if you need to leave the course or you feel that you have enough, then you're going to be leaving with a recognised award. So just a little bit more detail about the 2 years we haven't already discussed. So as we said, the year 2 of nutritional therapy, it's UK level 5, so it's Irish level 6/7, and that is your diploma in nutrition and lifestyle, their role in chronic disease development. And it does kind of what it says on the tin. This year of the course is exploring how chronic diseases develop from a biomedical perspective and a functional medicine perspective, because we want thinking practitioners out of this course. We want you to be able to look at research and decide for yourself how you feel that nutrition, lifestyle, all these things impact health, because there's an awful lot of research out there and a lot of conflicting research. So we focus on very specifically on 3 conditions that really illustrate how functional medicine work and how it differs most from the biomedical model. And that is metabolic syndrome, autoimmune conditions, and chronic fatigue syndrome. Because metabolic syndrome, even in the biomedical model, is really understood as a nutrition and lifestyle driven disease now. So it's interesting to see, even though that's the case, how would a biomedical, how did the biomedical profession view it, and are there differences with how the functional medicine profession would view it? But then you take something like chronic fatigue syndrome, which is so poorly understood, and there is so little help for individuals suffering from this condition. Does something like functional medicine offer any evidence-based information which might help us move forward in treating anomalies and complex chronic conditions such as chronic fatigue syndrome? So in year 2, you have there's 12 units, but there's 6 core themes, if you like. So we start with research methods and really looking at where we're at in terms of healthcare and chronic healthcare around the globe at the moment. We then move into nutritional biochemistry and looking at how the nutrients, going into more detail with the macronutrients, the micronutrients, how they interact with the body, how they interact at a cellular level in the body. Then we move into integrative physiology, so looking at the different systems of the body and how they work together when the body is well, so it's almost the ideal. This is what the body should be doing. And we do take an integrative approach to this. It isn't just your standard sort of, this is the cardiovascular system, this is the digestive system. We pull it together so that we can show you those different channels of assimilation, of communication, etc. And then we look at what happens if things go wrong. So we look at the functional medicine imbalances, and we look at them as they're taught by the Institute of Functional Medicine. So we look at the 6 imbalances, and because this is pre-disease, if you like. So before we move into specific diseases and pathophysiology, we look at the functional medicine imbalances that can lead to the condition. Somebody is asking, are these courses recognised by the NHS and HSC? I assume that there are other career opportunities, but I'm interested in the orthodox medical sector's attitude to nutritional therapists. Okay, so within the NHS and the HSC, dietary advice is given by dietitians. Okay, so we are in the integrative healthcare sector, which means that most individuals are working in private practice. However, there really is a shift at the moment in sort of how nutritional therapy is viewed. It's different in Ireland and the UK. If I'm honest, it very much depends on the healthcare professional, the orthodox healthcare professional, how much they value nutritional therapy. So we have, professionals like Dr. Chatterjee at the moment in the UK, who is recommending that every doctor's surgery has a nutritional therapist. Certainly not every orthodox healthcare professional feels that way about nutritional therapy, but that is the spectrum of healthcare at the moment. And it's really interesting times because there is so much better understanding of integrative health and understanding of what people like nutritional therapists are doing. So it's really broadening opportunities for us. In terms of if you're wanting to work in a hospital environment, that kind of thing, then you really need to be looking at dietetics. So we always recommend that if you're not sure of the difference, really delve into both and get more information on dietetics, get more information on nutritional therapy, and see where your ethos and philosophies lie. Somebody is asking, I have a master's in biochemistry. Can I do year 2 directly, or is it necessary to complete year 1? We do look at what we call fast tracking. We do it on a very individual basis, and it might be that you can be exempt from certain units as opposed to an entire year, and we can put an individualized program together for you. The thing to do if you're interested in doing that is to contact us with a transcript of your results, details of everything that you've done, and then we will put you in touch with the course leader, who will be able to work with you to look at what's possible, if you like. Okay. So, sorry, I think I moved on too quickly from that last slide. Yeah, so we look at the functional medicine imbalances, then we move on to look at specific named conditions and common chronic conditions, particularly in the West. And then there is clinic, which is woven through from about halfway through the year. So you start to look at the first part of a nutritional therapy consultation, how to really effectively gain information from a client and interpret it according to the functional medicine model. Then we move on to year 3, which is the Diploma in Personalised Nutrition and Therapeutics. And this basically looks then at the management of the chronic conditions. You've looked in year 2 at how they develop. You then look at what tools are there to help manage these in terms of nutrition and lifestyle tools. So the ultimate aim of this year and a half is to give you the opportunity to develop the knowledge and skills to run a really effective and safe nutritional therapy consultation using functional medicine tools. So we support you in critically analysing the use of functional medicine model, because as I said, we want thinking therapists, not people who just do what we say. Always question what you're doing and make sure it is best practice and that you're comfortable with it. Developing critical and creative thinking skills in the context of chronic disease management. So being able to look at research and then creatively package protocols together for individuals, and really becoming self-directed and independent learners and ultimately practitioners. So in terms of the content of year 3, there's 5 themes across 10 units. And what you're looking at is personalized nutrition and critical and creative thinking in healthcare. So we're really developing your research skills further and the creative thinking piece so that you can pull the two skills together. We look at the building blocks of the therapeutic plan. So we look in more detail at the research behind common dietary models at the moment. So is there research behind the Paleolithic approach, for example, intermittent fasting, the ketogenic diet, low GL approaches to eating? What is the research? We do that for supplements as well, and we do it for lifestyle interventions, so particularly stress management, exercise, and sleep. And then we put all that through the lens of functional medicine again. So looking at how they would suggest, that model suggests you utilize your toolkit to intervene in terms of redressing imbalances, etc., and managing chronic conditions. And then we go back to metabolic syndrome and look at how you as a practitioner, and the research again behind the different new tools and some more novel tools for treating metabolic syndrome. And then again, clinical practice is woven through that year. So you look at the second part of the consultation, so the producing of protocols for nutritional therapy clients and communicating those protocols to your clients, and then the case studies. So in terms of assessment, it's similar to the nutrition and lifestyle coaching. It's a mixture of different assessments, and they are frequent again. So your quizzes, reflective work, creating nutrition plans, presentations, audio recordings, case reports, case studies. Before the end of year 3, you do a license to practice before you go into our intensive clinical practice module, where you're seeing the clients very frequently and observing your peers taking clients very frequently. So there's a number of different assessments attached. And part of the third part of the course is our intensive clinical practice. So this runs for an additional 6 months. And that is what we really look at as advanced clinical skills. So you have all the theory, you've practiced an awful lot putting the information together, and now you're in clinic seeing real clients. It's small, focused group work. So you are with 2 to 3 other students and 1 supervisor. And when you're in for your clinic days, you're either taking a client or you're observing one of your fellow students taking a client and helping them with the case throughout the day. So it's really brilliant for building confidence and skills. And throughout the course, all the clinical practice that we've mentioned, that makes up over 250 hours of what we believe is really quality clinical practice. So it's not just sort of sat in a room with a video link and watching somebody else doing something. We're really pulling you through and making sure that you're confident and competent before we will graduate anyone as a nutritional therapist. What if you do year 4 online? How do you do the clinic days? So they are done over Skype, or you can organise with the mentor to do it in another medium, Google Hangout, etc. Zoom, we use quite a lot as a college. So it's effectively the same. You're still together with your group for a day, but you're all in different areas. But you will be taking your consultations and you're observing other people doing it as well. And your mentor is, it's like a group conference, if you like, so they can see exactly what you're doing. So you can do it entirely remotely. What year does practical clinic begin? It begins right in year 1. It's just most intensive before you graduate in year 4. Year 4 is 6 months. It's not a full year, so it is a 3.5 year program. Okay, and I think I've got... Somebody is asking specifically about whether we cover SIBO. Yes, we do. That is covered. It's very common, and there's quite specific protocols in the functional medicine model. So we go through those and we help you assess, what works, what doesn't work, when you would use it, how to test, how to find it, etc., etc. So yes, that is covered in the course. So the course structure then, it is 3.5 years. And I think I've kind of covered that. Hopefully it's clear how it works. You can do it part-time. You can study entirely online. And we recommend for the nutritional therapy part of the course, the study time does go up. Year 2, you're looking at about 15 hours per week. Year 3, there can be some weeks where you're looking at 20 hours study per week, particularly when you're getting towards the end of the course, doing your case studies, etc. So you just need to know that you have that time commitment. Start dates for 2018, September. So we currently only run the cohorts for nutritional therapy, so from years 2 onwards, from September. You can start NLC, you know, if you wanted to start NLC at a different time of the year, if that's going to fit better, then you can just wait until the next September. There might just be a gap after year 1 for you to go on to year 2, because we currently only start both the online and in class in September. In terms of fees, you can see them here. So we already went through the diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So years 2 and 3 are 4,195 euros, and then the clinical practice is 1,750. Or online it's 3,695 for each of those years and 1,750. And again, monthly payment plans are available. We have a number of graduates doing a number of things. I've just pulled out a couple for you here. Lisa Hughes, because she epitomizes making a really varied career, if you like. She is working as a nutritional therapist, but she started off working in somebody else's clinic. She now has her own clinic and she rents rooms out to other therapists. She has a radio slot that she does regularly. She works on corporate wellness programs. She works with health professionals on exercise and nutrition programs. So she's doing a number of different things. She's involved with healthy cooking programs as well, really active on social media. So she's a great example of how to create a nutritional therapy practice for people who are interested in more than just one-to-one consultations. Kira is another of our graduates, and she has specialized, which is a great way to use nutritional therapy. She's specializes in women's health issues and fertility, and she's the director of the Glenville Clinics, so they're Irish branch. Marilyn Glenville is a very well-known doctor from the UK who specializes in hormonal imbalances, and Kira and another nutritional therapist in Ireland run the Irish branch of her clinics. So specializing is another great way of using nutritional therapy. I apologise, I have overrun horribly. I can see that another few questions came in, but I can't see them. But I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hopefully that will help. It has helped. Okay, so let me just clear up if there's anything. What it does. Okay, do we source our own clients for clinical practice? It's a combination. We ask everybody to source their own clients, and then what we suggest is that you actually swap with different care groups or at least different members of your group. We also always have a bank of individuals who are wanting to have student consultations, so we give those out to students as well for anybody struggling to get their clients, which is very unusual. Is the diploma in NT recognised by BANT? It isn't currently. It's recognised by the FNTP in the UK, and you can insure yourself to practice through Baylands as well. We've only recently launched in the UK with our online version. It was specifically in Ireland before, so it's recognised by the Nutritional Therapists of Ireland, which is the Irish equivalent of BANT, and we are now moving into accreditation elsewhere. So we're talking to NTEC at the moment, who are the regulatory body for NT in the UK. But as we said, we're already recognised by the FNTP, so you can practice in the UK as an IHS trained nutritional therapist. We only have a euro price for the nutritional therapy after year 1, again, because we don't run it in class in the UK, so it's either online or on-site in Dublin. Can we switch to online after year 1 is in class? Can we switch to online year 2 afterwards? Yes, you absolutely can. At the beginning of each year, you can choose which which mode of study that you want. As long as we know, then we will fit you into that cohort and you can work where you want to. How many weekends in college is year 2 and 3? So it's 11. It's currently 11 weekends for each of them. Can we go and study at the Institute of Functional Medicine after year 1? I'm not sure what their prerequisites are at the moment. I believe you need to be a nutritional therapist or above, but it might depend on what else you're bringing to the table as well. So I'm not sure is the answer to that one. Apologies for that. I hate not knowing the answer. Right, how do you... Yes, what specific functional medicine tests do you guys teach us to read? Okay, oh, blimey, now you're asking me specifics. So we go through the basics because obviously there's a limited time that you have in terms of time with us. And any nutritional therapy diploma or degree can only teach you the basics, and then it's lifelong learning, to be honest. So we teach you the most common profiles that we found as practitioners we use in clinic. So we would look at different digestive function tests, the comprehensive digestive function tests, and those that are the individual tests in there. So your hydrochloric acid, your parasitology, SIBO tests, etc. We look at hormone profiles, female hormone quite specifically because we would tend to see a lot of female clients, adrenal, thyroid. We look at blood tests and how to interpret those and what is good, what isn't in there. We look at some nutrition profile tests, things like vitamin D, etc. as well. That liver function, detoxification. We briefly touch on some of the new genetic tests and the research behind those. So there's a number of different tests that we look at. Okay, just to clarify, no face-to-face class for NT in London. Not at the moment, but do watch the space. When you do the practice consultations, are those done live and recorded live with peers, instructors, or other consultations themselves? That for NT, it's live. So it's either live online or it's live face-to-face. And what is the deadline for enrollment for September? Who do we contact to ask for potential financial help packages? Okay, so we are at the point, we're in the middle of enrollment at the moment. We always say enroll sooner rather than later. For the in-class courses, the numbers are capped due to classroom sizes. So there's a cap of 40. We are filling up pretty fast. For online, we can take larger groups, but it's good just to get organised so that we can make sure that it's a good fit, that there is an interview process. The enrollment process takes a little while. We need to get you onto Moodle, book lists, etc., etc. So there is no deadline at the moment, but the course starts. The NLC course starts the first weekend of lectures. If you're doing it in classes, the weekend, I think it's the 22nd, 23rd, but there's a week before that, so it's starting mid-September, so we're mid-August now. Who do we contact to ask about potential financial help packages? When we email you tomorrow, if you respond to that email, we can get one of our consultants to contact you about that. Are there places left in the capped classes? Yes, there still are at the moment. Is all I can tell you. Okay. I think, who are some of the lecturers? Okay, so I lecture most of our academic team lecture at some point on the nutritional therapy diploma. The NLC team is fronted by Caroline Noonan, and then there's a number of, she's a nutritional therapist and she's a health and wellness coach. The best place to get this information is our website. Actually, if you go to our website there and look at the tabs across the top, there's one that has the IHS team, and that gives you information on the whole team. There are 27 of us currently, and our qualifications, vary wildly. With NLC, you'll only be working with people who are at least a nutritional therapist, so they're, you know, at the next level. Most of us, as I said, have health and wellness qualifications as well. We work with a licensed psychologist, with an NLP master practitioner. So have a look on the website, and that's the best place to get that information, if that's okay. I'm going to let you all go now. Apologies for running over. I hope this has been informative. I hope I've been able to answer your questions. There were a lot of them. I hope I didn't miss any. If you have any more questions, then do please get in touch. As I said, we'll be sending through the recording to you anyway, so you can respond to that email, or feel free to shoot us through a communication through the website, or email us this evening if there's something specific that you want to talk to us about. We'd love to see you on an IHS course soon. We run at the moment these information evenings about once per month, so check the website if you want to attend another. It's always good just to get as much information as possible. We have an on-site information morning coming up in Dublin on the 25th, so that's next weekend. So anybody who is in the area and wants to come along to that, it's a great chance to meet the team as well. And we are very active on social media. So you can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Twitter. So have a look at what we're posting. We try to keep as active as possible, keep it newsy, let you know anything that is happening in the college as well. So sorry, there's just another question that has come in. If I am enrolled for classes and I can't attend a weekend, is that okay? Yeah, great question. Yes, it is. It is possible to catch up. As we said, our e-learners get all the material that the in-class students do. So you can just listen to the audios instead and work through the material. So the lecture weekends are a bonus if you like. Obviously some people really like that face-to-face contact, but it's not necessary to be at every lecture weekend. There is a lecture weekend towards the end of the course that is compulsory, but you're told about that right at the beginning if you can't attend, because there really is something legitimately that you have to go to, I don't know, work, wedding, something like that, then you just need to let us know in plenty of advance. And it's because that's where some of your buddy coaching happens. So we will put you in an online buddy coaching group instead. Okay. Thank you very much to everybody for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. I am going to let you go now. So if you have any questions, as I said, do get hold of us, or come and see us at another information evening. Thank you very much for attending. Bye.